Short video this evening, Wednesday, December 10th, 2025. Today on the Candace Owens show, she did what I'm going to suggest is a goof up. She mentioned today on the Candace Owens show, Wednesday, December 10th, 2025, Candace Owens was talking about recent, it could have been this morning, could have been over the past couple of days, appearances of the widow of Charlie Kirk, Erika Kirk, where she was on some television shows talking about her need for some privacy regarding matters related to burial and memorial and the challenges her family are having responding to this death, and how she will not rest until she finds justice. This is some video clips were shown by Candace Owens on the Candace Owens show. Again, Mark Kulak, Houstonic.live. And then Candace Owens, agreed with some of it, and then went on to highlight how Erika Kirk, even though she says, or in these interviews, she needs time, she needs space, and this, and that she'll rest at nothing, Candace Owens then highlighted that Erika Kirk had the opportunity to attend the swearing-in ceremony of the next U.S. ambassador to India. And she brought this up, Candace Owens did, or was advised to bring it up, probably by her immediate staff, as a counterpoint to how Erika Kirk is spending her time, suggesting that she's not prioritizing things. Now, I was stunned, first off, because Candace Owens said the word India, and I've been saying very lately, enthusiastically, she never says India. And she brought it up in this context, though, of what she was a little bit dismissive about the importance of it's just the ambassador role and it's just India. I'm paraphrasing a little bit, so forgive me. So she was a little bit dismissive about the relevance of India. And I suspect that Candace Owens doesn't really understand the importance of India. Now, viewing things through the lens of it's all a show, and Candace Owens being an actress, why does she need to know? She just needs to know to say what she's told to say and then have just enough information to be able to safely improvise things. So if she said India, that means that obviously the people right around her allowed her to say it as well. So I have to reevaluate a few things. It's not that Candace Owens can't say India. It's just that she's never told to say India, and she never thinks about India. And I think the staff around her, they're probably getting the Erika Kirk script from somewhere else as well. She keeps saying she has a staff of 3. Obviously, they're not reviewing everything she says. They're focusing on cameras and lighting, what she's wearing, following up in emails, tracking maybe finances and stuff like that, doing reminder notices of notification updates, thumbnail pictures, all that other stuff. That's easily can keep a staff of 3 busy for full time. So this means that there's other people that provide Candace Owens her material, then Candace Owens does the final reading, they do some final editing, etc. I still believe that Candace Owens is under guidance from somewhere to not say India. What this means is that Candace Owens said India, and that decision was seen as not a big deal. It's just India. And the people, and her herself included, and her team of 3 didn't really understand the significance of it. This is such an amazing mistake, and it's incredibly validating of what I've been talking about. First off, I think it proves that she's an actress. It's more proof she's an actress. India is the world's most populous country. India has the world's fastest growing economy. They are 3 or 4 in GDP right now, and within the next 10 or 12 years, they're going to be number 1 at the current trajectory. They are growing massively, and they have demographics and age on their side. No one's talking about this. And they have an enormous government infiltration into the United States. There are so many offices in the United States right now. Our National Institutes of Health director, for example, people born in India. What the hell is going on here? Nobody's talking about it. And also because of this clip that I still believe is the moment when a decision was made, maybe not this day, but within the 10 to 15 days after this clip, I believe there was a shitstorm behind the scenes and a decision was made that Charlie Kirk's career was going to end. I don't believe Charlie Kirk was actually killed. I think the data suggests otherwise. The point is he's not on stage anymore. If he was killed for real, he wouldn't be on stage anymore. If there was a stage death, he's not on stage anymore, and they're saying he was assassinated. One way or the other, he's off the stage. So real or not, the point is he was removed from the stage. Why would you remove someone who's such a high performer from the stage? What could he possibly say that would have been so dangerous? Let me just remind you, this is May 8th, 2025.
The verge of a war.
India,
what does this
Pakistan.
mean exactly? Well, here's the basics. Pakistan is 100% Muslim. Remember, they sheltered bin Laden and have been a very, very sneaky actor. India is mostly Hindu. They don't care for each other much at all. There's a region called the Kashmir that they dispute. There was just a Muslim terrorist attack on tourists there, which Pakistan seems to be linked to, so India is furious. There were air and missile strikes on 9 different sites in Pakistan, killing a few dozen people. Reportedly, some airplanes have been lost on both sides. These are big countries. They have more than 1.7 billion people between them and lots of people. That said, very simple. This is not our war. Maybe we slightly favor India because they're retaliating to Islamic terror, but that should go no further than moral support. That is it. This is not our conflict to get involved in. I do not believe this will escalate in any way, shape, or form to nuclear power. And look, we hope for negotiations, but this is a great test of whether or not every conflict is America's problem. And both are nuclear powers, by the way, and most people don't know that. Both Pakistan and India have nuclear weapons, which actually then will decrease the likelihood of either side using nuclear weapons. Is the fact that both sides have mad, mutually assured destruction. Trump said yesterday that India is willing to drop all of its tariffs, by the way, on trade with the United States, which is good for icing out China because India very well could become the new China. What you're seeing there is demonstrations on the Kashmir border. I think they think these are kind of like two birds peacocking at each other, but instead of two birds, it's like Pakistanis and Indians peacocking at each other. Very strange, but again, more power to them. They can do whatever they want. And so this is them at the border.
I never really followed Charlie Kirk. I never really watched him. I knew who he was. And I have to say, what he just said there sounds like something that I would say. Whatever, they can do that almost sounds like something I would say in that situation. I guess I have a little bit of a fondness right now.
They kind of are taunting each other. You actually can go see this live. They have tickets where you can go to the Kashmir border.
Anyways, he goes on to say U.S. should not get involved. Well, everyone else, even beforehand, and still does not say India. He's saying the U.S. should stay out of this conflict. It's not our business. All of the evidence that people said shows that there was some conspiracy that he was going to be killed, such as people in Israel Googling the medical examiner name in Utah. All of that happened after May 8th, 2025. The decision was made then. Maybe not that day, but over the next 10 or 15 days. Why do I bring this up? I keep bringing this up because I believe that the U.S. relationship with India and the UN is a big player here, is this important and this impactful right now, and it's bleeding through this many things right now. And it goes all the way back to 9/11. A lot of the stuff, the revisitation of 9/11 right now, trying to make it about Mossad and Israel and Saudi Arabia, no one wants to talk about the human genome side of it, the DNA side, Bio 911 Truth, or the role of India in the UN. It's going to come out. I'm going to make it happen. It's going to happen. If Charlie Kirk was taken out because of a shitstorm behind the scenes, highlighting U.S. needs to stay out of these conflicts with India, then it's really remarkable that the new United States ambassador to India that was just appointed by Donald Trump is one of the best friends of Charlie Kirk, a guy named Sergei Gor, G-O-R, which is a shortened last name. He was born in Uzbekistan, came to the United States. He's barely 40 years old. And for what it's worth, he could be a very smart guy. He could be a wonderful human being. I don't know much about Sergei Gor, but looking at his resume, he is wholly completely, utterly unqualified. Now, he may have the right character, and he may be trustworthy enough to do the job, and he may be fine, but he is as unqualified to be the ambassador to India. Well, let's put it this way. He's actually about 500 times more qualified to be ambassador to India than Dr. Jayanta Bhattacharya, born in India, has running the National Institutes of Health of the United States of America. Let's just put it that way, okay? And Jayanta Bhattacharya is 0% qualified. So what Candace Owens did today, accidentally, is she started her little bitch tirade about Erika Kirk going to the ceremony, the swearing-in ceremony of the new ambassador to India. And this role, I think, is one of the most important roles right now in the whole of the United States government, in the whole of the executive branch. Erika Kirk went to the swearing-in ceremony of Sergei Gor. I can't even believe it. Of all the things for Erika Kirk to go to, of all of the appointments, it's the swearing-in ceremony for the next ambassador to India. And I've been saying now for several weeks, if there's one thing that Charlie Kirk was calling out, which seems to line up perfectly with the beginning of the conspiracy to get him out one way or the other, it's this. This is impossible. So there's something about the relationship with the United States and India right now. There must have been a reason. Now, I don't think that Sergei Gor, based upon what I've read, is an ally to India. I don't think U.S. citizens are necessarily getting screwed that way. I'm going to learn a lot more about Sergei Gor. There's actually a few things there that I like. There's some funny things. He's actually known as the DJ of Mar-a-Lago. He actually runs the DJ machine for Mar-a-Lago parties. There's some really funny stuff like that you can't make up. But there's a lot of stuff revealed here. There's a lot of things that come to the surface. This is impossible. This cannot be a coincidence. And the fact that Candace Owens called this out is very sloppy on her behalf, because she put it out there, and I don't think her close staff vetted it. And if they did, I don't think they really understood what they did. They allowed this through. This is an incredible validation. And of course, yeah, if you want to talk about Egyptian planes, please, because we know about how important the relationship of Egypt is with India right now. Every time they say Egyptian planes, it just further points the finger right back to what we've been talking about here. Of course, nobody else will talk about this because other people are paid to lie about why people die. They will say the opioid epidemic is because of Pakistan, even though Pakistan has the highest fatal drug overdose rate in the world and is considered to be, by all accounts, in a very bad and combative situation with India right now. At least Charlie Kirk called it out. And, again, if I'm wrong about my beliefs that Charlie Kirk was not actually killed, maybe he was put into witness protection or something like that, that's bad on me. But keep in mind, I'm not the person that's refusing to talk about 1 million fatal drug overdoses of opioids. I'm not the one
that's refusing to talk about
how the Indian national Jayanta Bhattacharya, running the National Institutes of Health, is using life expectancy drops from fatal drug overdoses of young Americans to suggest we had a bad vaccine or a lab leak from China. And remember, all of our lab leak evidence, most of it anyways, came from India. A very uncomfortable thing that we have Indian people from India in the United States government telling us we need to believe the from India evidence that there was a lab leak in China. And let us also not forget that the person who was running the subcommittee regarding the Chinese Communist Party in the United States government was a man born in India, Raja Krishnamurthy, actually a campaign supporter of President Obama when Obama was a senator. All of these things no one will talk about because they're paid to lie about why people die. So anyways, Candace Owens' show today, A+, knocked it out of the park. I look forward to every time she goes live because it just gives us so much evidence. There's more evidence right now floating around about how she didn't pay her rent or something like that. in one of her last apartments. I'm telling you what, small potato stuff. Small potato stuff. I've just uploaded some interviews of people from Mark Weiner. Again, Mark Weiner is the father of her business partner, Zoe Weiner. Zoe Weiner's dad, Mark Weiner, was the godfather of Jesse Jackson's grandchildren. I can't tell you how many times he probably slept in the way they call it, the Lincoln room, the Lincoln bedroom, whatever. As comfortable in the White House as she is at home. I mean, come on. Do you really think that this stuff is a coincidence? Do you really think this stuff is a coincidence? And just to close out, I'm going to throw out a conspiracy theory. Now, this is speculation. I think it's possible that the private equity company or firm that Candace Owens was with was probably the Clinton Foundation. Let's put it this way. If it was not a big deal, it would already be known. Clinton Foundation, one of their main branches is in New York City. New York City, of course, the main was in Arkansas. It would make sense given all the connections to Harvey Weinstein. Harvey Weinstein says she's known her for a long time. It would also make sense because one of the main chairmen of long time of the Clinton Foundation is Mark Weiner, father of Zoe Weiner, who Candace Owens did her startup company with. These things would make a lot of sense. Of course, Bannon and Harvey Weinstein go way back. Their relationship, they really are friends and colleagues. They fake a combative relationship, but they really are friends and colleagues. Let's face it. Anyways, thank you, everyone. Thank you for watching. Every day, it's just lucky. It's like playing with loaded dice right now. You know, everything that they do, it just keeps revalidating our work. It's so incredible to be winning, and it's so good to be a genuine, independent person that doesn't have to take money to lie about why people die and cause more Americans to lie in the process. Have a great evening. God bless.